What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jake Helm Productions, and today we got our Week 1 NFL recap. We're going to talk about everything Week 1. It's going to be a great video. Let's get started. So, first game, we're going to talk about the Thursday night game. We got the Chiefs and the Lions, where the Lions were able to beat the Chiefs 21-20. And this was a game where the Chiefs, they just couldn't get anything going with their skill positions. You know, Mahomes, best quarterback in the league, best player in the league. He'll make any game close as long as he's playing in it. But without Kelce, their offense just wasn't good enough. Kadarius Toney, he's the big fall guy, but really, none of their other receivers could get open. So I don't really want to put all the blame on him. The Lions, their defense was impressive. You know, a lot better than I expected. I expected the Chiefs to just have wide open guys, but I think it's mostly the Chiefs receivers. If Kelce was in this game, I think they easily win. But he wasn't, so the Lions, they are able to get the dub. Our next game we're going to be talking about is the Steelers 49ers. And this game, the 49ers were able to win 30-7. McCaffrey, he was dominant. Brandon Ayuk was dominant. And I think the 49ers, they have probably some of the top 3 skill position players in the league. I think they're right behind the Bengals. And then it's a debate for me between them and the Eagles. But I think that the Niners, if they keep playing like this, they may be the best players. Especially because how good their defense is. They can just play with leads so much. They're free to do whatever they want. They're free to be creative. I mean, think about this. Brandon Ayuk is not even the team's number 1 receiver. And he was dominant today. Deebo Samuel didn't do anything. They still destroyed them. You know, even if someone has a bad day, like George Kittle, he did very little today. Deebo, like I said, did very little. They can still dominate games with these skilled players. Every single player is basically a matchup. Every single player can block. They have a great run game. And as long as McCaffrey stays healthy, this is my Super Bowl favorite for the rest of the way. And the Cowboys obviously play later in the day. They were very good. So we'll talk about them later. But I think the Niners, they were very impressive today. Next game, we have the Browns and the Bengals. And this was a game... Oh, I should talk about the Steelers a bit. And I think Kenny Pickett... I think he's a second-year quarterback. But at the same time, so is Brock Purdy. And I don't know if it's Kenny Pickett's the problem or if the offense is the problem. And I know the Niners have a great defense. I think this year we're going to see how good Kenny Pickett is. Because if he's playing like this against every team, it's not acceptable. I mean, next week they play the Browns, another good defense. I don't think it's a great defense like the Niners, but they're a good team. I still think the Steelers can be decent. I have them winning their division. I don't think so anymore. But, I mean, the other teams didn't look... The Browns look the best, but they were playing in like a schloss pit, which really helps them. So, I don't think the offense is that good in the Deontay Johnson injury. He'll be out for a few weeks. That really helps them. They only allowed 30 points to this team. And this is a great offense. I think the Steelers, they'll still be decent. Next thing, we got the Browns and the Bengals. And the big takeaway for this is how good the Browns' defense was. Or, if you want to take the negative route, how bad the Bengals' offense was. I think we're going to find a lot more about which one is true in the next 2 weeks. But the rain, I think it really helps the way the Browns play because they're more of a running team. The Bengals are more throwing team. That really doesn't help them. The Browns probably have best O-line in football besides them or the Eagles. Browns very good. I think this defense is legit. I think it could be the best defense in the AFC North. Maybe it's definitely top 5 defense in the AFC. Very good defense, top 10 defense. Bengals, I don't think this is anything to worry about, to be honest. They'll be better next week. Next week they play the Ravens. Next week they play the Ravens. So if they beat the Ravens, I mean, they'll be right back to where they're supposed to be. I mean, Joe Burrow, he'll be better. I think we're right now. We're not going to the NFC. We got the Vikings, Buccaneers. And the Vikings kind of have the same problems as last year. Now, they're smaller problems because they're slightly better. But their secondary still isn't good, and their D-line isn't very good, and their O-line still isn't very good. Their receivers are good. Kirk Cousins is good, but their defense, they're just not smart players. Their secondary is very, very dumb. On 3rd and 8, I don't know how you are letting anyone catch the ball at the sticks. You got to break that up. And the Buccaneers, I think they might be the most underrated team in football. Baker Mayfield is the perfect quarterback for this team, and they they can win the NFC South with these skills positions. I think if you watch the other quarterbacks like Desmond Ridder, Bryce Young, they both looked very bad. But no, it's Bryce Young's first game, but it wasn't Desmond Ridder's first game. He looked very bad. And Derek Carr, that defense looks very good, and those receivers are very good. And Derek Carr, he could be good, but I don't know. Like, I don't think any of those teams are really good. So you only have to be good. You don't have to be really good or very good. You only have to be good to win this division. So I think that's what the Bucs are. I think the Bucs are be the goodest of the good. Now you got the Cardinals and Commanders, and this was a shit show of a game. I mean, I'm from DC, so I kind of have to talk about it. But like Commanders, like Sam Howell, he's not the guy. Commanders fans, I'm sorry, he's not a guy. And Cardinals fans, Joshua Dobbs is not a guy either. They're both like negative guys. Now the Cardinals, I don't think they know how to run NFL offense. They're very good at running college offense, but if they were like the Arizona Wildcats or Arizona State Sun Devils, they'd be a pretty good team. But I mean, they still wouldn't have the best quarterback in the Pac-12. But Joshua Dobbs, he's not a good NFL quarterback. I mean, the Commanders, they do have a good defense. I mean, Terry McLaurin's pretty good. But, like, come on. Like, these teams suck. They suck. Like, Commanders should win by more. Now we have the Eagles and Patriots. And speaking of teams that should have won by more, the Eagles definitely should have won this game by more. They got up to the 16-0 start. I thought it was going to be like a rolling, like a dominant, like we're the team this year, like we're going to stomp them. And they're still an elite team. They're playing the Patriots. And I know people like to diss the Patriots based on the last few seasons, but Bill Belichick is still the best coach in the NFL. He makes some, like the fact that this game was close at all shows how good of a coach he is, because this is not a team. Like, their O-line is not good. Mac Jones, he really wasn't that good. He just had to come back, so he had to throw the ball out because they couldn't block for shit. Like, they're good coach. They can make any game close. If you ever see a spread of the Patriots, like, the other team fared by more than 7 against the Patriots, take that line. I think Bill Belichick can make any game close. I just don't think they can win very many games, because Mac Jones, at the end of the day, he's not a winner. He's a loser. He's Mac L. Jones. Mac, loser, Jones. Their defense is good, though. And I don't know. With the Aaron Rodgers injury, I think they could beat the Jets. I don't really know how many more games they could win. Now, this is the game of the day. Dolphins-Chargers. And I think Tyreek Hill, he's the best skills player in the NFL. He's a dog. He's elite. I think any other team, and Tua, he's a top 5 quarterback based on today. And if they're go deep at all in the playoffs, he'll be a top 3 quarterback. I mean, he's that good. He's that accurate. There's throws you're watching him make. Like, how are you doing that? He's a left-handed quarterback, so that's something different defenses have to worry about. I think he's the only starter that's left-handed. The defense could have been better, but the Chargers' offense was good, but they choked like the Chargers do. Brandon Staley, he's not a guy. He'd be like a really good analytics department leader, because I think he's very smart in analytics, but he's going to get fired because I don't think the Chargers, this was a game they should have won. They'd have no fans because they think Brandon Staley's ugly, kind of looks like a frog. They really sucked. But Herbert, he's a good quarterback. Like, if Herbert played for the Dolphins, he argument for second best quarterback in the league behind Mahomes. Like, if Herbert had good weapons, like Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, they're not horrible, but he had like the same weapons as the Dolphins, he'd be really good. He just doesn't have like an elite guy. He has an elite guy. He doesn't have an elite guy. Like one elite, like Tyreek Hill, he's an elite guy. Okay, now we have the Packers-Bears, and wow, the Packers, I'm a Vikings fan. Fuck the Packers. I think the Packers are going to be good. Aaron Jones, he got injured, which sucks for the Packers, because he's a great running back. I think he's top 3 in the league, and their defense is still good, because I thought the Bears' offense was going to be better. I had the Bears winning this game, but the Packers, Jordan Love is good. I don't want to crown him like good, but he's good right now because like he was missing some receivers. The Bears' defense is really bad. So if the Bears' defense is really bad, then I think any team could do well against them. But they're not a good team. I just think they need to trust Justin Fields more. And then another big surprise of the game is the Rams-Seahawks. And I think we all underrated how good the Rams are going to be and how good the Bucs are going to be. The Rams aren't the most underrated team because they still have to beat the 49ers, and the 49ers are a good team. But McVay's a good quarterback, good coach, and Stafford's a good quarterback. And once they get Cooper Kupp, I think they're like in a category kind of like the Patriots, but not really, where they could win any game just based on how well they score. I didn't watch many of the Seahawks plays, to be honest, in the second half. I don't know why their offense was so bad. I didn't watch any of the plays. I might have to do that if I'm going to. I probably should have done that, but I didn't. Oh, well. And this is something that's interesting. I think, like, we should be wary. I had two big lessons of this week, and I think there's, like, 40 skilled position players that mean a lot to the team. Which doesn't make much sense here because Cooper Kupp is one of those 40 players. But the other one is be wary of the one-year wonder quarterback. So that's Geno Smith, that's Daniel Jones. Brock Purdy would also fall into this category, but he was good in his game, so I think we still have a bit of time to worry about. But any quarterback that was good for 1 year, I think we should be a bit hesitant to just crown them the next big thing, unless they were, like, really good. Because, I mean, Jalen Hurts was also kind of a one-year wonder, but they were in the playoffs the year before. So that's just getting better. This is like he was bad his whole career, and then he was good 1 year. It's kind of similar to Daniel Jones. So I kind of want to like be interesting to see how historically accurate it is. But the one-year wonder quarterback, I think this may be a sticking point, an important lesson. Beware of the one-year wonder quarterback. And now we got the Cowboys-Giants, and wow, what a game. I mean, I think this was definitely the most impressive game of Week 1. The Cowboys' defense was probably the best one side of the ball any team was Week 1. I mean, like, they just looked so much better than the Giants. I mean, the Giants' defense didn't even look that bad. I mean, it's hard to be good when you give up 2 defensive touchdowns and your team is that gain, like, 1 yard, like, every drive, and you have to punt the ball away, or you have to, like, go for it every time, and you're, like, way backed up. But 40-0 was crazy. I mean, I think the main issue is the O-line, because they have Saquon and Daniel Jones. Like, Saquon and Daniel Jones, I still kind of think they can be good, but I think they need to be great. Maybe great to be good. I think they could finish last in the NFC East. It wouldn't be surprising. And then for the other thing with the Cowboys, I don't think their offense, we haven't seen anything from them yet. They didn't have to really do anything. They play the Jets, so we're going to get a real understanding of how good their offense is next week. I mean, their defense could also do the same thing against Zach Wilson and just shit on him for 60 minutes and, like, just pick off every ball, and Dak Prescott has to throw 100 yards and just give Tony Pollard the ball 2 times, and then they'll win. They could do that, but I'm not so sure. I think it'll be a kind of interesting game. I'll talk about it more on Thursday. Now we got the Jets, Bills, and Aaron Rodgers' injury is probably the biggest story of Week 1. I mean, this is absolutely horrible for the Jets. Because if you saw how the game, the defense is elite. Very, very good defense. You know, it's up there with the Niners and the Cowboys. Jets is probably the third best. They'll be good with the defense because they got, if Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook, Garrett Wilson, if these guys all stay healthy, they'll be a good offense. I don't know if they could get another quarterback. Like, Carson Wentz is a free agent. Like, Trey Lance. I was kind of thinking Trey Lance. They could, like, maybe. I mean, who is a quarterback they could get? Andy Dalton from the Panthers? Like, Andy Dalton is probably better than Zach Wilson. You know, Jameis Winston. I think if they get Jameis Winston, that would be the perfect fit. I think that they should trade all their picks for Jameis Winston. Because if they do that, they'll win. They'll basically win a Super Bowl because Jameis Winston, he's better than Zach Wilson, and this team was very good. They beat the Bills, a Bills team that is very good. But Josh Allen, he's like when you go and when the vending machine's broken and you shake it a few times, that's what Josh Allen is with the football. You just have to shake him a few times, and he just gives you all the chips. He'll give you like a soda. You'll get like a pepperoni stick. They should have won this game, but they're not the same old Bills. Someone's at the door. It's fine. But yeah, this Bills team, it's not they're not that good. They're not going to win the division. I think the Dolphins are clear favorites. It's also week 1. So none of this really means anything. So thanks for watching. I'll be back on Thursday with my picks for week 2. Have a good day.